David De Gea is under intense pressure at Manchester United after a calamitous error that really set the tone, with the catalyst to another away defeat for Man United. And the pressure of not making the top four from a commanding position is gripping the Premier League, has applied massive pressure to Erik ten Hag. But what of the future of this player? Not just this season, but moving forward. There is outrage today from many, and we're going to play the clip in a minute, of Ten Hag not only defending David De Gea, but wanting to extend his time at the football club. We're going to take a look at what Roy Keane has had to say on De Gea from the past. And you think back to some of these comments from 3 months, 1 year, 2 year, 4 years ago, and how Man United are still finding themselves in this position, plus some big reports about the future of him. But I want your views and I want your opinions. Is Ten Hag right? Is he right to be defending this individual in public and maybe giving him a new deal and keeping him as the number one at Manchester United? Give us your thoughts and feelings. Smash the like and the share button, people. Let's take a little listen here to Erik ten Hag.
He has the most clean sheets in the Premier League. So we would not be here in this position without him. So he has fully, my belief, no concerns.
I just don't believe Ten Hag. I just don't believe that he has no concerns about this manager. I think he's being professional. I think he's being polite. I don't think he wants to ride out for a player making mistakes, ride out and go against a player who's making mistakes. But I just do not believe what he's telling us is true. I'm not calling him a liar from a negative standpoint. He's just protecting his player, but he can't believe that. No way.
Yeah, that happens. But I think as a team, you have to deal with it. You have to show character and be resilient and bounce back. And and that this team will do.
You back De Gea as being our number one keeper in the longer term?
Now, that's the question. Do you back De Gea in the longer term as number one? There's one thing protecting him because he's going to start the last 3 or 4 games. So there's no point damaging his confidence more. But this is the big question.
Pardon?
Do you back De Gea in the longer term?
Yeah, we want him to stay and we want him to extend his contract.
That isn't what Man United fans want to hear. And I'm not going to lie to you. There is a part of me, like my initial knee-jerk reaction is that is mad. I understand we have no idea who's going to own us. We may not have the budget for a top-class goalkeeper. So if you allow David De Gea to leave, maybe you're dropping the standard even further. So giving him a new deal creates a comfort blanket, a safety net for Man United. But we have to. Striker, I get, is number one priority. I actually think goalkeeper's number 2. Beyond the new centre-back, beyond new midfielders, we need a goalkeeper who is proficient with his feet and who just isn't making as many mistakes as De Gea, because this isn't the first time. It genuinely isn't. Let's take a little listen here. Now, this clip is old, so bear with me, but this is from just 2 years ago. Listen to what was being said and tell me that this clip couldn't have just been replayed yesterday regarding David De Gea.
And De Gea, I wouldn't even let him on the bus after the match. I get a taxi back to Manchester. These are established international players, and we're all sitting here, and I know we have to analyse the game. Analyse it till the cows come home. You do your job. We're trying to get in the top 4. Not win leagues, by the way. We're just on about getting the top 4. God forbid about winning trophies.
First point there. We're still in this position 2-3 years later. This clip's from... I'm actually going to get you the date of this clip because I don't want to misrepresent. Yeah, this clip's from... Sorry, do excuse me. I'll get the date. This is 3 years old, this clip. 3 years old. And we're still just fighting for the top 4. And David De Gea has been making high-profile errors, either with his feet or in terms of stopping shots for many years now. This is not new. This isn't some recent agenda to get rid of them.
Shocking. I am disgusted with it. Maguire, De Gea.
We'll ignore the Maguire stuff today. We'll just focus on De Gea.
You should hang your heads in shame. Representing Man United and letting people run past you. Get close to people. Move your feet to give away that goal. I'm fuming here watching this game of football. I am staggered at Maguire. Staggered at an international player can just get done like this. And I am sick to death of this goalkeeper. I would be fighting him at half-time. There's no getting away from that. I would be swinging punches at that guy. This is a standard stay for an established international goalkeeper. That goalkeeper, I am fed up. That De Gea, the most overrated goalkeeper.
No, okay.
Patrice, the most overrated goalkeeper I've seen in a long, long time.
Did he?
I mean, that's a big claim. But there's an element of truth to it. I've got a lot of love and respect for De Gea. And of course, Everett in this clip, this is 3 years old, will defend him. He played with him. They were teammates. And David De Gea, at his peak for Man United, was out of this world. But two things. His peak has gone. He is no longer as safe between the nets as he used to be. That's why I showed you this clip. Because if you just type into YouTube, David De Gea, Roy Keane, David De Gea, Gary Neville, David De Gea, Sky Sports, David De Gea mistake, look at the abundance of goalkeeping errors in the last 3 to 4 years. It's too many. And listen to what Roy Keane has said. Now, this is the most important point within this. We're not even fighting for titles yet. The margin for error in top 4 races is bigger than that in a title race. 3 or 4 mistakes like De Gea made this season, forget with his feet, just in terms of shot stopping. The 2 that stand out the most are the Brentford game and yesterday against West Ham. Those 2 mistakes alone in a season can cost you. They can cost you. Then you couple in how bad he is with his feet, our inability to maintain possession. This isn't about an agenda, because I'm not believing in this video I'm making for you right now that you get rid of De Gea and bring in a better goalie and Man United will win the Premier League overnight. That isn't the claim. He isn't a scapegoat. He is one of a number of problems within this team. But I'm just addressing it individually. And I know the Football Terrace community have the brain power and have the capacity to understand that. Some De Gea fanboys might not be able to, but I don't care about De Gea. I care about Man United getting better. I care about the progression of my football team. And as I said, this clip from Roy Keane, I remembered it. I went back to it. We're still saying the same thing 3 years later. If you're having the same conversation about somebody 3 years later and the team may have progressed slightly this year, but you need to get rid of him. Arteta got rid of Leno. Pep got rid of both Joe Hart instantly and Claudio Bravo. Klopp went for a number of keepers before getting to Alisson. You have to strive to have the best in each position possible. We cannot just renew this guy's deal and move on to other positions and ignore it. There is some positive news that's come out today, though, regarding this situation. And according to Samuel Lockhurst, there is growing doubts over Man United as to whether David De Gea's position will be kept as number 1. Although Ten Hag has publicly backed him after his howler against West Ham, sources say there are reservations over extending his contract. And do you know what this reads to me? Of course there's reservations over his contract being renewed. Of course there's doubts. Of course there's concerns. But what budget do we have? Where else does money need to be spent? If we're going to buy a new... Let's just say we want to get Harry Kane and De Jong. I'm just throwing out 2 names to make it easy for us in terms of process. That could be our entire budget or most of our budget. Is there enough to go and get Diego Costa? Is there? Is there enough to buy a fullback in that as well? Is Glazer-Nomics going to strike again? And this is one of the reasons why new managers at Man United end up always struggling, because they're never able to actually replace all the holes they have. It's why there is I'm not jealous of what Man City spend, but I'm envious of what Pep was able to do. Bought a new goalie, didn't work, got another one. Bought a number of fullbacks that didn't work, got another one. If he'd have bought Haaland this year and all that money, relatively low transfer fee, but huge agent fee, huge salary. If he would have flopped, City would go out again this summer and buy another striker if Pep didn't think he would come good. That is what the biggest and the best clubs in the world do. Man United don't. We spend a lot of money, but then we get to a point and we go, we're not spending any more, mate. Remember Jose Mourinho? Yeah, you've had 2 new centre-backs. You're not having any more. But we need 1 more to get us to another level. No, you've had 2. But we'll give you Fred. I don't want Fred. We'll take him. So you're going to spend £50 million on a player I don't want? Yes. Literally, that's how Man United work. It's been mad. And we need to get out of this cycle. And I do believe new owners is the only way. But back to the situation. Look, for me, David De Gea, some will call him a legend at the club, and I understand that completely. For me, I don't put him above Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar in my lifetime as watching Manchester United. They've been the best 2 goalkeepers. But he's been brilliant. But he's past it. He's done. I'm sick to death of this goalkeeper. We need to move beyond him. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Hit the like and the share button. Remember to enter the Football Terrace raffle now. You can win 2 tickets plus £250 spending money to the FA Cup final to watch Man City versus Manchester United. Scan the QR code on the screen or click in the link in our description, and we'll be seeing you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.